Yesterday, we explored how to ensure that we understood what our customers are after, how too many words and too much jargon can kill our message. Today, we conclude with the golden rule of copywriting for customers. This is Clickstarter, the Australian digital marketing podcast. I'm Dante St. James, and this is the conclusion of my three-part series on what not to do when you're writing for websites and social media. Let's start with speaking the language of your customer. Good copy tells people what they need to know, but great copy makes a lasting impression. It can be hard to make your copy sound relatable to your target audience if you don't use the words that they use. One of the best examples of this is a local pet sitter that I often see on Facebook. She uses words like zoomies and doggos to talk to people who love their dogs. Brooks Running, a sports equipment brand, also uses running slang in its product descriptions. It shows which shoes are perfect for overpronation or neutral running gaits and other terms that are specific to people who run. To learn the language of your ideal customer first, check out groups on Facebook and subreddits and other places where your audience hangs out to see if there are any that might be a good fit. Secondly, sit in on a sales call with a salesperson who sells to your customers. Read the customer reviews and social media and you'll work it out quickly. Thirdly, interview those in your target audience to get an idea about what words flow for them and what ones feel like hearing fingernails going down a chalkboard. The words and phrases that are used a lot should be on your list. Then use them in your copy. Now it's about weak headlines, and weak headlines lead to weak engagement. Strong headlines make people want to keep reading. This isn't just true for landing page headlines, it's also applying to email subject lines and blog post headings and many, many more areas. In order to write a more eye-catching headline, try one of these ideas. Something like 10 things you didn't know can be used instead of eggs. Number 2 is pure genius. Or the busy woman's guide to Bitcoin without all the bro talk. Or the best seats on the plane, the train and the bus anywhere in Australia. Or even, how to be a public speaker even if you're terrified. Notice how each of them speaks to what it's about, but what you can expect to get out of it as well. When you're only one making claims about your products and your services, whether they're the best or the brightest or the cheapest or the most good value, it can be a little awkward if no one's backing that up. A sales pitch can be seen from a mile away by the people who read it. They don't like them, they're being burned by them, they're never going to trust you. Direct sales pitches come across as one-sided and pushy when they're made in an obvious way that says nothing about the person who will be using the product or the service. And we all know that infomercials pay actors to give testimonials, and we've all worked out that you can't trust a thing that a business says about themselves on a website or a social media page. The way around this mistrust is to provide real social proof. People generally don't think your copy is pushy or fake if you add other people's opinions of you. This is letting your happy customers do all the selling for you. Here's some ways you can add even more social proof to your website or your social media posts. Use a one-liner from a great review as a heading. Talk about how many customers you have, or tell the story in numbers rather than vague claims about being the biggest or the best. Tag influential people who use your product or service, or tell everyone about the awards you've won. Now, the golden rule of copywriting. Some copywriters tend to focus on the most eye-catching features of a product, especially if the product is somewhat new or cutting edge. Your product or service's features may be important to you, but they don't answer that one question on every customer's mind. What's in it for me? Instead of focusing on the features of your product, write your copy to show what your customers will get by having your product. Link a feature to a benefit of having the product, and then link a benefit to the lifestyle that your customer is already leading. There is a lot of information about the money product by Afterpay on its website, but their key messaging is something that anyone can understand, especially for their target demographic of young people. You see, Money by Afterpay is going after the banks and the credit card companies, and just like Afterpay is putting a big dent in Visa and MasterCard. Money plans to put a big dent then on the savings account market. The message, money. Know and feel yours like never before. And then they follow up later down the page with feel it differently, get in sync and give yourself the freedom to enjoy the here and now as well as relax into the what next. Because when you bank on yourself, every decision feels easier. This is deeply researched and deeply personalized copywriting. The feature is syncing your spendings with your savings. The benefit, you can see more of what's happening with your money, but the feeling, you are more in control of your decisions. And what young person doesn't want to be more in control of their decisions? To make a feature seem more like a benefit, think about how your customer might use it in the real world. It's not just about what gives value, but how it gives value and how it makes them feel. Whether it's your landing page, an ad, an email, or something else, every piece of your writing deserves this kind of attention because your customers deserve this special touch. And so do you. As we finish up, do me a favor, pop a rating in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google so more people can start their digital marketing journey right here. And if you want to learn more about digital marketing the Australian way, click on the news tab at clickstarter.com.au and get all the info you need to get known, get found, and stay known.